Today, I want to break down the three clearest signs a woman gives when desire is already alive inside her. But make sure you stick around until the third one, because that's the subtle cue most men completely miss, even when it's happening right in front of them. Curious. Before we jump into the signs, there's something you need to understand. If you've ever missed moments like this before, it's not because you're awkward, insecure, or lacking appeal. The truth is, no one ever taught you how to read the language of female desire. Thoughtful. And it's a language that works very differently from the male version. Men feel desire and usually act on it immediately. Women, on the other hand, feel desire, but they rarely reveal it openly. They test, they create situations, and they subtly open doors, but they often wait to see if you'll step through with them. Evolutionary psychology gives us a clear picture of why women behave this way. For thousands of years, a woman's survival depended on being cautious before fully giving herself. Not because she was choosy, but because making the wrong choice could be dangerous. That instinct didn't disappear, it's still wired deep into the female subconscious. So when a woman expresses desire today, it's rarely loud or obvious. It's subtle, like a whisper, only the attentive can hear. The first sign of this is her initiating touch without any practical reason. This isn't just casual contact. Notice how she touches you, maybe brushing your arm lightly or giving a playful nudge. She does it intentionally, even if she's not fully aware of it. Neuroscience calls this initiation contact, her body trying to confirm your presence, to shrink the distance between you. If she lingers a moment longer than necessary, that extra second is her body speaking before words ever do. The second signal comes through her eyes. Interest isn't always obvious, and most people don't know exactly what to notice. When desire is present, her gaze changes in very subtle ways. One of the most telling signs is pupil dilation, a tiny, almost imperceptible widening of the eyes when she looks at you. It's involuntary, a physiological response that signals attraction and curiosity. Alongside that, the way she maintains eye contact shifts. It's no longer casual. There's a lingering quality, a quiet intensity, as if she's inviting you into her focus, subtly testing whether you're tuned into her. These cues aren't just social signals, they're rooted in biology. And if you notice them, you're seeing desire before it's ever spoken aloud. Recognizing these subtle shifts is key because desire in women often shows up in moments too fleeting for most men to catch. This reaction is completely involuntary. Her autonomic nervous system responds to arousal without conscious thought. Along with subtle pupil dilation, she holds eye contact longer than normal. And when she finally looks away, it's not sideways, but downward. That downward glance is a tiny, instinctive signal of receptivity and openness, something nonverbal psychologists have studied for decades. She didn't learn to do this, it just emerges naturally. You'll notice it in a pattern. Her eyes meet yours. A slight smile appears. She glances down, then lifts her gaze back to you. The cycle repeats, almost like she's silently saying, I see you, and I like what I see. The third signal is the one most men completely miss. She begins creating privacy where none existed. Picture a crowded room, and suddenly she finds ways to pull you aside. A drink together, pointing out something in a corner, lowering her voice as if to share a secret. This is deliberate. She's establishing a safe, intimate space, emotionally and physically, to test if you'll step in with her. If you respond with calm confidence, everything moves forward naturally. Knowing exactly how to read these signs and act with the right energy is the focus of my full guide, Secrets of Attraction, where I show you how to recognize these moments and respond in a way that makes her feel you're the man she's been waiting for. The link is in the description. Remember this: missing these signals in the past wasn't because you weren't enough, it was because you didn't know the rules. Now that you do, noticing these signs gives you a clarity most men will never have, and that clarity is a real advantage. Use it wisely. Women express desire in ways that are almost invisible to most men, through subtle physical cues and small behaviors rather than words. Every touch that lingers, every shift in eye contact, and even a tiny downward glance is an instinctive signal showing interest while assessing safety and compatibility. It isn't conscious manipulation, it's built into human behavior over thousands of years. The way she creates small private moments, moves closer, or adjusts her body subtly is her way of inviting connection without forcing it. Understanding these signals allows a man to respond with presence and confidence, which naturally amplifies attraction far more than any rehearsed line or showy gesture. Desire is a conversation of signals, a push and pull of awareness and timing. Recognizing and responding to these moments changes the dynamic entirely, because each glance, touch, or smile carries meaning that most men simply fail to notice. Acting with clarity in these situations creates an advantage that can't be taught in books. It's experienced. When a woman feels attraction, almost everything she does is a reflection of her internal state. The way she positions her body toward you, the subtle tilt of her head, or the way her hands move are all part of a nonverbal conversation. She's sending signals to see if you are tuned in, if you notice the cues, and if you respond with the right energy. These signs are rarely obvious because women don't need to broadcast desire, they need to feel safe revealing it. That's why she creates little pockets of privacy, lowers her voice, or initiates small touches that feel casual but carry intent. The magic happens in the timing and awareness. When you notice a lingering glance or a touch that doesn't immediately pull away, you're being invited into her world. Responding with calm confidence, without overthinking or rushing, signals that you understand her language. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. Her signals become stronger, your presence becomes more magnetic, and what started as subtle curiosity transforms into genuine desire. It's a silent, powerful dance that happens long before words are ever spoken. Every detail matters when a woman's desire is active, even the smallest gestures. The way she laughs at your jokes, brushes past your arm, or tilts her body toward you isn't random. It's her nervous system testing the connection. She's assessing whether you notice, whether you respond with awareness and confidence, and whether you're willing to match her energy. These signals are layered. The touch, the gaze, the creation of private spaces all work together to communicate interest safely. Men often miss them because they expect desire to be loud, obvious, or immediate. But for women, it's rarely like that. Responding too quickly or too aggressively can break the subtle rhythm she's creating. Instead, matching her energy, showing calm presence, and engaging with her cues without forcing anything builds trust and amplifies attraction. Understanding this allows you to see desire as a conversation that's happening below the surface, a series of invitations that guide your actions and create a magnetic connection that feels effortless. The difference between noticing these signs and missing them entirely can change the dynamic of every interaction. Once you tune into this language, you start seeing patterns you never noticed before. Small, repeated gestures, like the way her gaze shifts when she's interested or how she lightly initiates contact, become clear indicators. It's not about memorizing tricks, it's about observing, feeling the energy, and responding naturally. Her signals are meant to test alignment, safety, and confidence, not to manipulate. When you respond with calm assurance, you give her the permission her subconscious is looking for to fully open up. This is why men who understand these cues have a completely different experience. They aren't guessing or reacting blindly. They're participating in a silent dialogue that most men don't even know exists. It's subtle, it's nuanced, and it requires attention. But once you master it, you step into a space where desire flows naturally, without pressure, without guessing, and with far greater connection. The way desire unfolds in women is rarely straightforward, and that's why so many men misread it. Every movement, glance, or touch is a layer of communication, a careful balancing act between interest and caution. She's not testing you to play games. She's evaluating safety, emotional presence, and whether you can match her energy without overstepping. Even her humor, small teasing, or playful nudges are part of this unspoken dialogue. What looks casual on the surface often carries intentionality beneath. The key is noticing the rhythm, how long she holds a gaze, the timing of a touch, the way she subtly creates moments of intimacy in public. These are invitations, not commands. They're opportunities to respond in a way that signals awareness and confidence. Missing them isn't failure, it's simply being unaware of the rules. Once you tune into these signals, you start seeing desire as a dynamic, moving energy rather than a single moment or line. It's important to understand that desire grows when there's space to breathe. Women often intensify signals gradually, layering touch, gaze, and small gestures over time to measure your presence and consistency. That's why patience and attentiveness matter more than anything else. Rushing, pushing, or overanalyzing breaks the natural flow. Instead, responding with calm presence, subtle acknowledgement, and gentle engagement reinforces the safety and trust she's seeking. Each subtle smile, glance, or touch is a cue for you to meet her energy thoughtfully, not force it. When you master this, interactions shift from guesswork into a quiet, compelling connection. You're no longer just hoping she's interested. You can read it clearly, respond appropriately, and guide the energy forward naturally. Over time, this understanding rewires the way you approach attraction entirely, creating interactions where desire isn't spoken aloud, but felt deeply, mutually, and unmistakably.